Welcome back if you're returning. Today's video has been a long while in the making. If you remember, these are the inspiration pictures, and what I wanted to do was build a garden room. I was hoping to use just doors, but we couldn't find enough doors, so we gathered as much stuff that we could. So far it's cost us $50. We've got fence panels, old doors, bits of other gazebos that have not lasted the summer. I must admit my husband's worked really hard on this. He's made a framework for the roof, made me a beautiful garden room, and it's still in progress. I've been busy upcycling thrifted items, pieces of furniture, even a rug. So I've gathered everything together and a last few touches, and I'm going to show you the, I would say 90% finished room today. It's been lots of fun though, I must admit, and just in time for Mother's Day and hopefully some lovely weather. Over the last 3 weeks I've shown from the ideas to the actual point we're at today. So it's doors that have been picked up, wood that's been recycled and upcycled, and 2 different gazebos that we've used to get to this point. I'm trying to use as much stuff that won't break or won't be damaged too much because it is so windy in the backyard. So this little stool I've shopped the house mainly. It's a little side table that I had in one of the bedrooms. It's going to be perfect in the garden room. I've given it 2 coats of this same chalk paint that I've used in all the little items that I'm putting in the garden room. So I'm just using the stamp, and then I'm stenciling 2 different stencils on this little table, and then I'm going to give it a coat of beeswax just to finish it off. And then this is going to be, as I said, a little side table. I have quite a few of these little doilies and I wanted to use them in the room. So this one I was trying to turn into a crown. So what I've done is I've carefully cut out the center, and then I'm going to place it over a mold, and then I'm going to coat it in Mod Podge or white glue will do as well. And this is going to stiffen it up. Then I'm going to spray it, and I'm hoping, if it turns out, that it will look like a little crown. I've got a little collection of crowns somewhere in a box, and I've got to find them because I think they look so pretty just on the shelves. And again, going with this theme that trying to get things that if they fall off the shelves or get blown around, it's not going to matter. So what you can see I've done here, I've coated it in the Mod Podge, and now I'm putting it on a stand and drying it upside down. And this is after 24 hours. It has dried perfectly into the shape that I wanted. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it another coat of the Mod Podge or white glue, whatever you have, and then I'm either going to spray paint it if I've got any gold spray paint, or I will paint it gold. This one is going to take you back to your childhood. We're doing paper mache. So I've taken a balloon, I've given it 1 coat of paper mache. I've let it dry 24 hours. This is the 2nd coat of paper mache. This was some old paper that we found under flooring. I was going to try and use it, but it was too damaged, so I thought I'll just use it for my paper mache. So you can see this is 2 coats, and then I'm going to cut the circle around the bottom, and what I'm going to be doing is trying to make a hot air balloon. Now I go through all this and I make this hot air balloon, and I will show you, but I'm just not happy with it. I wanted this to be a light fitting for the room, so what I was hoping to do was put lights in it and hang it from the ceiling. So I'm going to show you what I've done and how it turned out, but I haven't put it up because I'm not satisfied with it. Hopefully by next week it'll be as I want it to be, and I'll use it then. So once the paint was dry, I went over it and sectioned off the different sections using this washi tape. I was going to do it in quarters, and then I went ahead and added more, and I was just going to paint it red, white and blue, which I did, but I just wasn't happy with the finished product. I'll show you, but hopefully next week it will be perfect. This is the basket for the bottom of the balloon. I used an old lampshade. Again, this turned out fine. I was really happy with this. So I'm keeping the bottom part, the basket, and I'm going to make the top part match the basket. You can see it's okay, but it's not how I envisaged it. So I will be remaking this for next week. So I got these little cup hooks. I opened them up with pliers so that I could fit the wire in, and what I've done is I've got these little twinkle lights, and there are, I think, 400 of them, so I knew I had too many. So what I've done is I've gone 3 times around the room and I've just added the little hooks just to hold everything in place. I was thinking of using these patio lights, but I've got them outside on the patio and I wanted something different inside. I also bought the old bed down and I'm going to make a day bed. Originally I had one of these thin IKEA mattresses on it, but I want it to be more substantial, so I'm using a proper twin mattress. I am, however, using this mattress for the sides and the back. So as you can see here, all the little hooks are at every join and then across the rafters, and I've just gone round and round and round and then across, and then I've put them round this window as well. And it's a lot of light, but it's not too much light. And then the end of the light is going to go into the balloon and give us a little feature in the corner once I'm finished. So the day that I was doing the lighting was rather a windy day, and I'm glad it happened actually, because it blew a lot of the staples. It just got that blustery. So what I did was I opened up these panels, I cut out the plastic, and then I layered on my netting canvas, and you can see I reinforced it with a piece of wood. Now next week when we get the deck boards, we will be going round everything and reinforcing everything again, but for now everything's staying in place even when it gets windy. You can see this piece of wood here. It's just been, this is the reason we had to build this house, because it is so windy in the backyard. So there you can see everything's now in place, and I'm just stapling around with the mosquito netting. Now when it comes to the curtains, I decided to back them with shower curtains, and I figured that way if it rains in through the windows or the netting, they should be mostly protected. So obviously I'm trying to use as much of my own stuff as I possibly can. So I'm using all the material that I've thrifted. I've got existing curtains that I'm using, and of course backing everything with the shower curtains. These little spotted material was something I thrifted recently. They were $3 a panel, and the paisley material was a quilt from IKEA that I ended up using for curtains. So these little pink curtains they were originally a twin quilt cover. I've literally just sewn them all up, cut them in half, hemmed the both halves, and then hung them up as curtains. The other curtains in the room, I've just, as I said, I've lined everything with a shower curtain. I'm going to move on to the day bed. This was a bed that came from the last house in the bedroom, and what I've done is I've taken an IKEA thin mattress. I've got 2 of these, and I'm going to cut up, it's like a foam inside, and I'm going to make a back panel and 2 side panels to turn this bed into a day bed. This is a single mattress, which is like a really thick padded one. It's a newer one, but we just don't need it. We don't use it any longer. So I've slip covered it with a cover that I've made out of an old thrifted queen size quilt. So what I've done is I've measured the size of the backboard that I want on the day bed, and this is what I'm cutting here. I've marked the line and I'm cutting it all the way along. I'm just using a sharp blade, and then what's left I'm cutting in half, so I end up with 3 pieces, which will become the back of the day bed and then the 2 side arms of the day bed. So I've got the two panels. The larger panel is going to be the back panel, and then the smaller panel I'm folding it in half, marking where the halfway point is, cutting it again into two, and then those are going to be my side panels, which will be the arms of the daybed. And then all I've done is taken the same material. I've got lots of this material because it was, like I said, it was a queen size quilt, and I'm just covering everything, and that is the end result. How it's so comfortable. It's comfy to sit on. Obviously your feet don't touch the ground, but it's perfect to lounge on, and that's what we'll be doing a lot of in the summertime. It really has turned out better than I expected it would. So it's in place, and now it's time to start dressing the room. So I've got all my little bits and bobs that I've been making over the last few weeks. I've got some shelves up, I've got plants ready to go, so that's what I'm going to be doing next, is setting up the room. So as I said, it is, I would say, 90% finished. There's still some panels to go in, some wood panels from a deck that we're going to be doing next week. So once that's done, obviously I will revisit everything once it's completely finished, but for the most part it is finished. It is completely netted from the elements, so there shouldn't be any pesky mosquitoes getting in at night. And once the curtains are closed, it is really, really cozy. So as you can see, it is a really cute little space. There's not an awful lot of wall space, so those doors in the corner, I've really made the most of it with all the little upcycled shelves and little pieces that I have reused and recycled. There's the cans, there's the little crown up on the shelf. There's the picture frames with the moss and the botanical arts. Again, nothing is new in here. The only new item actually, and even that's 2 years old, is the bunting. That was actually purchased brand new. But it is a really, really cozy little space. As I said, the daybed I think absolutely is the star of the room. It is such a comfy place. Now when you sit on it, obviously your feet don't touch the ground, but you can get 4 adults on it comfortably, probably about 5 kids, so it's a great little area to sit and especially to lounge. This chair was the chair that came out of the bedroom upstairs that I just recovered. That's another comfy space. These curtains came out of the library and were the perfect length for this area, and once they're closed up they join up lovely, and it completely encloses the space. This was a chair from the living room in the last house, which I've just thrown a couple of pillows on. And then this little desk was one that I redid probably last winter. I'm going to be turning that into an ice box, and that will be coming up in next week's video. I'm going to insulate it for cold drinks for the summer. And there's my little indoor outdoor rug, which I am very pleased with how that turned out. These are the curtains that came out of the library. These were my summer curtains. They are a lovely lightweight cotton, so they let the breeze flow through them lovely. There is the lining on the back of them, which is the curtain, the shower curtain, which I said I can pull across if it rains, and it hopefully will keep the worst of the moisture off them. This little bookshelf is obviously the one that I recycled, repainted and decoupaged. Perfect place to put all your reading material for the summer. And the little table is another little decoupage piece with a piece of decoupage William Morris fabric on the top of the table. These curtain panels were the ones I picked up from Goodwill a few weeks ago. I had 2 panels for $3 each, and I ended up getting 2 sets of curtains, so 4 panels, just the right size to cover these little window areas. And again, you would never buy them for that much. They're a great deal, so always pick up recycled or thrifted curtains. Give them a good wash, and the uses for them are numerous. You can see I'd opened up, cut out the plastic panels on the windows, and when with the meshing, it's just perfect. There's lots of airflow. It's a great little place to sit. Again, this couch is a really comfy little couch. Just threw 2 big pillows from my old patio set, which I'll be moving into the garden. They're going to be used in the garden later on in the summer. All the shelves and the decor is thrifted or handmade. There's the little tin cans with the stick-on paper and the decoupage, and then the little pieces of art. Now the flowers are artificial for now. I will bring in some real little plants once I have some, but there's not much in the garden just yet. I've still to do my pots, so I will be bringing in some real flowers once the time is right. There's the little hanging pot there. I picked that up for 50 cents just the other week. I knew it would be great in here. It's a perfect spot in that window. And then the little fan I picked up for 50 cents thrifting earlier on in the week. It's a little peacock, and it's made out of like rushes. It's a really cute little thing. Again, these are the curtains that I made out of another bed quilt. Like I said, nothing really matches, and sort of everything matches. It's like a garden. Everything goes together in a garden, greens and blues and yellows and oranges. So, it's like in nature, so you can mix any colour together. Ultimately, it all just kind of matches. I'm very pleased with how the daybed turned out. Actually turned out better than I thought it would. I always had the idea to use the bed with the mattress, and what I was going to do was just put the thin IKEA mattress on it, but once I got it down, it wasn't thick enough, it wasn't comfy enough. So that's when I picked up the twin mattress that we had, put that on the bed, and then used obviously the thin IKEA mattress to make the panels, and it is really a comfy place to sit and lay, and I know that we'll be using it a lot throughout the spring and the summer. The only thing that I have to do is grab a couple of side tables, because once you're on the bed, you've got to scramble to get off and put your drink down on the coffee table. So I'm going to put a side table on each end, so that if you've got anything you need to put down, you just pop it down beside you, and you've got a place to put your drink or your whatever you're having while you're sitting. You don't have to keep getting up and down. I've also got a couple of larger baskets that are deep and long that I'm going to put under the daybed. I'm going to put some wheels on them to raise them up off the floor, and I'm going to throw some lovely comfy warm blankets in for the chillier nights and store them all underneath the bed. If you remember, this was a campaign table that I picked up in an auction. And redid it earlier on in the year. I've redone it twice now. Well, it's getting a third transformation. Next week we're going to take the insides out of it, we're going to lower it a little bit, and then we're going to insulate it, make it waterproof, and put some ice in it, so that for the summertime we've got somewhere to keep our drinks cool. It can be tipped out the ice can and refilled, or ice packs, I'm not sure yet, but that'll be really handy in the summertime. This little blue chair is very comfy. It's seen better days, but it'll last us for the summertime, and then I will pass it on either in a garage sale or recycle it and donate it at the end of the summer. So I just quickly wanted to show you the room at night. There's the little crown that I made. You would never know that that was made out of a doily. On the bed you can see I've got the little basket with the rest of the lights in. I will put those lights in the balloon once it's finished and then hang that from the rafters, and that'll give us a nice little glow. But you can see with all the little lights once the room is all closed up, it is so cozy. I really can't wait to spend those lovely long summer evenings listening to music or reading books. It's just going to be lovely. Well, I hope you enjoyed the journey to finishing the garden room. Don't forget to come back next week. I've got some more little items that I'm going to be adding to the room. Hopefully we'll get the room finished completely. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all those mums out there. I hope you have a very lovely day, and we'll see you next time.